Hi everyone, welcome to E3Scott's Park Jet information, ATIS information Charlie this time, so the third edition. Just wanted to give you a bit of an update on some things I've been working on and again some stuff going on in the future. So since the last installment, I've just been flying the living daylights out of this modified RC Powers F-18 version 3. I actually just passed the 100 flight mark on it. So yeah, just really pleasantly surprised and very pleased with how this plane turned out, about how fast it is and also how stable. I was worried that it was going to be, by cutting it down by 15%, that it was going to be unstable and a real handful to fly, in wind, but so far so good. I'm really pleased with how well this plane flies. So anyway, I will have links down below. I just posted a blog post on my ParkJet blog, so I'll have a link to that, because then you can go from there to read, to watch videos and also read more details on the build. So yeah, just heck of a good time. 100 flights now on my RC Powers F-18 version 3. Also, just going to check my notes here, make sure I don't miss anything. I've also just recently done a couple of videos testing a new 4S battery. This is the China Hobby Line FPV Plus series. 1500 milliamp 4S 100C battery. So I managed to squeeze in 2 flights with it at the field the other day. Really pleased with the performance. I flew 2-minute flights, so essentially, took off, started my timer, and flew for 2 solid minutes. Came down. In the video, I think I had between 3.7 3.8 volts per cell. So that's kind of what I'll stay with for those flights. But the performance during the flight, I was really impressed. I didn't have any, didn't feel any sag, didn't feel the battery lagging. I had good, solid, consistent power. So yeah, only 2 flights under my belt, but so far so good with the China Hobby Line 1500 milliamp 4S 100C. I also noted, and I'll have a link to it, the vendor where I bought this. Unfortunately, about less than a week after I bought it, they put it on sale, and they're also carrying a China Hobby Line black battery, which is, and it's exactly, I think it's all the same numbers, maybe even same C rating, and it's actually even cheaper than this one. So I'm not going to go buy that, because I've kind of blown my my RC budget for this month already, but that might be something I might try out as well, depending on how this battery continues to work in the future. I still haven't started my RPAS, or remotely piloted aerial vehicle certification, that I mentioned in my last edition of ATIS information. Summer's kind of a hard time to study, I guess. So anyway, that's going to be that'll be on the back burner, and I won't bother bringing that up again until I've actually started something. I'm still awaiting the arrival. It must be coming on the really seriously slow boat from China, of the Turnigy Plush32 40 amp speed controller, which is I think a new line of plush speed controllers from Hobby King. I may have mentioned I ordered the speed controller and the programming card for that one, because my current Turnigy Plush programming card won't work with this new one. So anyway, I'll have links to all that stuff down below anyway. Somehow, I guess, I don't know, there must be, hopefully there's maybe a 12-step program for this if it gets any worse, but I couldn't help myself, I guess, and somehow another motor slipped into one of my Banggood orders a couple of months ago. I haven't even bench tested it yet. I haven't even soldered on any connectors yet, but this is the it's called the Mark 1 Pro, SP Mark 1 Pro Super Pulse there on the side, and in very fine print, it's actually it's made by RC In Power. And I should say it's the it's a 2306 2750 motor, which is my favorite size and KV motor for use in my Park Jets. I have had really good experience with the RC InPower GTS 2306 version 2 2750. That motor I would say is probably closest to the GEP RC 2306 2750, which is my favorite motor in my Park Jets right now, although it does run quite a bit hotter at the field than the GEP RC, so I don't really use it on 4S. But anyway, so I'm interested to test this one up, and hopefully this Super Pulse stuff that it's not a bunch of hype, and hopefully it'll work out okay. So I'll have a link to this one down below, and that'll be coming up in future testing sometime soon. I am thinking I'm going to be doing some more research of picking up another 40 amp speed controller, the Hobbywing Platinum Pro, this one here, which if you follow my channel, I've been raving about this for well over a year. It's getting very much harder to get, so I'm not even sure if it's being made anymore. Banggood hasn't carried it now for a few months, and even on eBay, the number of vendors that still have them is getting less and less all the time every time I look. The vendor that I used to get it from, or that I did purchase one from on eBay, they no longer have it. So anyway, I have found on Banggood there's a speed controller. This is kind of what it looks like. It's a Hobbywing Platinum 40 amp. This looks like a plastic case on here. It's a little bit cheaper. It's a few dollars cheaper than this. The Platinum Pro still looks like a pretty high-end programmable or higher-end programmable speed controller. So I am going to do a bit more research on it, though, because I do have a couple of concerns. I didn't see anywhere thus far what the burst rating is on it. So I know both from the specifications and from testing at the field that the Platinum Pro has a 60 amp burst, and it can handle well over 40 amps even in the air with no problem at all. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm also concerned about the weight. Banggood shows the weight as 95 grams, maybe because it has this plastic case on it. And I don't know if you'll be able to take, if that was a concern, be able to take this plastic case off and then just put it in some heat shrink, which might be a possibility. But anyway, just a seed that's kind of been planted in my brain. I'll have a link to this down below so you can look at it yourself and have more. If you've used one of these, or you know somebody that's used one of these, please leave a comment down below as to their experience. I mean, it has 5-star rating on the reviews, but anyway, so that's something I'll be looking at perhaps later in the year. Okay, again, I keep apologizing, but sorry for my procrastination on the intermediate Park Jet build series. I will get going on that as soon as I can, but again, it's summer and I'm doing lots of flying and enjoying the outdoors while the weather is really nice. But based on a question that I asked in the last ATIS Bravo, I will be releasing the videos as I produce them. So if I do it that way, there will be a time gap in between them, but I've had the 2 responses that I've had back on that video was that people would like to see the videos released as I make them, even though there might be a time gap. So that's thus far that's the way that I'm going to go. Lastly, I've thought about this for quite a while, and I'm not going to get into why I decided to make this decision, but I've left the RC Powers forum itself. I mean, I will continue to build and fly RC Powers Park Jets. There's no hard feelings or anything there. I just I'm going to be leaving the forum, or I have left the forum. I won't be contributing there anymore, but all the threads that I've created there are still there. So I'll have links down below to some of my main threads, my quad motor testing thread, the thread that I developed on the FlySky FSI-6 transmitter, as well as a few other ones like the NAMC MiG-35B, the NAMC Su-27. Those are some of the bigger threads that I started there. I am going to be focusing a lot more, trying to focus a lot more on doing my write-ups on my Park Jet blog, and also reviews and things like that here on my YouTube channel. So if you if you were getting in contact with me through the RC Powers forum, either by leaving questions or comments on my posts or by contacting me through private message there, if you have questions for me now, please leave them on videos here on my YouTube channel, or you can email me at scott.parkjet@gmail.com. So yeah, so there's my ATIS information, Charlie. Just a quick update, let you know what's going on in my crazy little Park Jet world here, and I'll continue with these products as they arrive, my speed controllers, and as if I decide to buy this here, I will let you know as my Park Jet budget, my pennies build back up in my Park Jet budget. So just posted a video. If you haven't watched it already, I'll have that linked. I have over 1,000 subscribers now, and I was up to 1,001, and then it dropped off to $9.99 and stayed there for a week or so. But I've been back up to 1,001 again now for a couple weeks. So I want to thank everyone once again, humbly from the bottom of my heart, for your support. It's just crazy to think that a little niche YouTube channel strictly about Park Jets, that 1,000 people have chosen to subscribe, and I'm really humbled and honored by that. So thank you as always for watching, and thank you for your kind support to my channel. Blue skies, calm winds to everyone. Park Jet noise, the other sound of freedom, baby. Take care.